Well, then, you see a girl a ball, you know, so you kick her out. How should do my youth?
You tell us on a stage. Girl, better can't cook.
Forget about societal norms that women need to learn to cook to cater to the needs of men. As far as I'm concerned, everybody should know how to cook. Why? Because everybody gets hungry and everybody needs to eat. Not true? What up everyone, Charismeki here and welcome back to another episode of Adultings, where we discuss everything about adulting. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about cooking and why it is important for every single person to learn how to cook. Cooking has a lot of benefits, and although a lot of us like to use excuses like I don't know how to cook or I don't know this recipe, with technology nowadays you can find anything on the internet, Google, YouTube. Based on your dietary restrictions, we have people out there who are making videos and providing recipes for us. So at this point, there's really no excuse for us to have. It's just about us trying. At least try to cook, and practice makes perfect. There's no way for you to be able to do something to the best of your ability without doing it a couple of times. So if at first you don't succeed, try again, because your first attempt probably won't be your best, but you need to continue until you get the perfect one, right? No, I now walk and boast of me a chef, you know, but I can't help myself. And you should try to help yourself too. What if one day the fast food place them lock down, eh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when you got no food? I should probably cut that out. That was embarrassing. So we're just going to jump right into this video, and I'm going to start off with the most obvious reason for why everyone should learn to cook. It is cheaper to cook than to eat out all the time. Now I know some people would probably debate on this, but I'm going to break it down for you in a bit to show you how it is cheaper for you to actually eat at home as opposed to eating out all the time. So let's take this scenario for example. Suppose you're someone living in Canada and you're thinking that you'll buy your groceries to serve you bi-weekly, and you budget to spend around $100, $150, $120. Let's go with that case. So when you're buying groceries, remember you're not just buying things to last you for 1 week. It will probably last you for a couple weeks, even to a month. We're talking about things like condiments, like your ketchup, your mustard, your mayonnaise, all those things, rice. Those things, when you buy them one time, it doesn't necessarily mean that on that one time use you're going to use it up. So remember, when you're buying those things in bulk as well, you're able to then prep for meals that you're making, whether it's like a sandwich, you're making like an actual heavy course meal like dinner, and you need those little ingredients, and they will last you longer than just one day, obviously. So let us think about this other scenario now. Now you're someone who you work, for example, and you buy lunch every single day, or you buy out your dinner every single day. Now let's say lunch is roughly $10, and for your dinner you're spending about $10 to $15. Now I wasn't that good in math, but adding all of that up bi-weekly for 2 weeks, if you're spending $10 every day on lunch and about $14 to $15 or $10 to $15 on dinner, you are going to be spending more than $100 or $150 for bi-weekly groceries. Make sense? A common problem that many of us who cook at home probably have is, after a while we know that we're going to get tired of tasting the same thing over and over. So you get tired of whatever it is that you cook. So in that case, instead of cooking one big meal that you expect to last you for a week, then break up your meals, do meal preps. So if you decide that one day you have some time to cook, I'll probably make another video on this, but if you decide one day that you're going to cook up some food, you have more time on your hands, whatever it is that you decide to cook, you can cook different things at the same time. So you don't necessarily have to cook all your chicken. If it's chicken you have, you don't necessarily have to bake all of it or curry all of it. Like, you can separate the portions, curry some, stew some, bake the rest, and you have different options for every day. And you can do that with other things. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you are cooking meat. You could go vegetarian style, or you can think of like pasta dishes, things like that. So there are ways for you to spend less and for you to spice up your cooking activities. And nothing is wrong with treating yourself from time to time. time. But unless you really have that luxury where you can just dash money away like that every single day to treat yourself, then you need to be rethinking how you're spending your money and how you can cut down on some expenses. Because if we're being real, a lot of us, most of our expenses goes into eating out. Need to beat some stress? Well, have no fear, cooking and baking is here. Now, a lot of people probably don't think that cooking is something that can release their stress because it makes you feel more stressful because you don't think that you're doing this properly, or you don't feel like the ingredients or the recipe is going to come out the way it's supposed to. But as I said, everything takes practice. So little by little you just practice certain things. So for example, maybe you're not much of a cook, but probably baking is more of your thing. You can use baking as a way to release stress, and at the end of the day, you're able to have a sweet treat to treat yourself and those around you. That's a win-win to me. Cooking at home is healthier. Now, I'm not sure how much some of you know about the food industry and how some restaurants work, but there is no guarantee that the food that you're eating sometimes is also fresh per se. Also, in terms of calories, if you're someone who's watching your calories or you're very picky on the type of things that are put into your food, then by cooking for yourself, you have that control. You can take control of what you put into your food, the amount of salt you use, the amount of sugar, whether you use sugar as opposed to honey, things like that. You're able to manipulate that to your style, your food liking, and also you get to eat healthier. Believe it or not, but cooking also helps you to think critically. Now you're probably wondering, how does cooking help me to think critically? Now think about it. You ever wanted to make something and you didn't have one ingredient, and not having that one thing prevented you from wanting to make the food? Well, with thinking critically, you're able to think, what can I use in substitute for this particular thing? So for example, the other day I wanted to make rice and peas / rice and beans for my Belizean friends out there. So rice and peas for my Jamaican friends, hey, rice and beans for my Belizean friends. Just so everyone know what I'm actually talking about. So the other day I didn't have any rice. So I really wanted to have that particular food. So what I actually have was quinoa. I hope I pronounced it properly. Quinoa, it was what I had. So I said, you know what? Let me try to see what the quinoa would taste like when mixing it in with the peas, the beans. And I did, and it came out better than I expected. It actually was good. So if that is something you're thinking of, you're not really much of a rice fan, or you're trying to cut down on your rice, think about trying to use quinoa with something that you like. So that was one way that I was able to think critically. Also, if you're looking up a recipe and it has some measurements, like it probably has a recipe for serving 4 people, you're able to think critically like, okay, it's just me, maybe I just want this meal for today or for 2 days. You're able to then cut down the recipe by the amount that you think it would serve for 1 or 2 people. Cooking allows you to expand your mind, be creative. So if you're someone who you're curious about other cultures, customs, their foods and all of that, you want to develop more life skills in terms of budgeting, cooking more healthy, things like that. Cooking is a way you can do that. It also gives you a chance to be able to hang out with friends. You have this perfect opportunity to bond with friends. A lot of my bonding moments that I had back in university happened over cooking a meal with my friends. You get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You're cooking with friends, you're hanging out at the same time, and at the end of the day, everybody go home with a full belly. That sounds like a win-win-win to me. Also, if you're someone who's curious about other cultures, this is a way that you're able to tap into that curious side of you, learning how they make different foods with the different spices that they use. And for yourself, if you're someone, you come from a culture that you're passionate about keeping your culture through food, then this is a great way for you to pass down recipes from generation to generation. Food is a great way to bring people together. It's a great way to enhance and celebrate your culture, who you are, and also to have a lot of fun doing it. And let's not forget the important part too, keeping that belly full. Well everyone, that's the end for this video. I hope you all liked it. I hope you all learned something. If there's something else that you think that cooking is beneficial for, comment in the comment section below. Why do you think everyone should learn to cook? Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to do road and do things, and until next time, Maggie is out.